Welcome back to the Jupiter podcast. I'm your host, Tom Franklin. I know it's been 3 weeks. We finally got somebody here that's either, family things happened, sicknesses, including myself. So I would have made it through, but the other person, so I was like, well, 2 and 2. We're here now. And today we have one, Barbara Shupe. If you guys don't remember, I had Barbara Shupe on a couple months ago, maybe a month or two ago, something like that. And she came on and we kind of went through her cohabitation. That she's been experiencing, the things that she talks about, the things that she's seen, and she's just incredible. If you keep coming back to the show, please do me a favor, like and subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel because for some reason it seems to go up 5, down 5, up 5, down 5. I think it's the algorithm. I think they're kicking some of you guys off there. So go back and check to see if you are still subscribed. Someone told me that they got unsubscribed even though they didn't do it. I don't know what YouTube's doing, but we'll see what happens. No way we're not going to have any fun today. Me and Barbara, we're cutting it up in the back of the room, and she's awesome. She's an author. She's an incredible person. She's always been very sweet. She's always on time. So please welcome to the show, Barbara Shupe.
Hi, everybody.
Last time you were in your truck. What happened? I just noticed that you're in the house this time.
Well, I'm in the cabin today. It's just too cold to be outside now. So.
Oh, that's right. It's cold outside. Hey, hello, Pam, and hello, Stuff. Who's Stuff? I don't know who Stuff is. Oh, I know who Stuff is. That's Tim. Hi, Tim. How's it going, Tim? All right, Barbara. Do me a favor. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Tell them about your book. Tell them what your channel is, where they can find you, and how all this started for you.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. Well, I'm Barbara Shupe. I'm in Washington State in a little community called Greenwater, north of Mount Rainier, right in the middle of the Cascade Mountains. I've been here since the early 90s. Sorry about the cattail.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Sorry. So back in the early 90s, I moved here, and my first hike up the trail behind the cabin here, I found a perfect giant footprint and some broken trees. And, I'd already had a lifelong interest, but that was the day that I felt like I became a true believer. And, in the years since then, there's been a lot of things that have gone on around the cabin. And in 2012, I got to see the big guy following the elk up here on the hill, and I watched him vanish into thin air. After that, I started doing gifting. I'd go out weekly and I'd leave pie, apples, toys, whatever I thought they might be interested in. And then I started a YouTube channel, Squatching with Barb and Gabby. And then I did that for probably every week for about 3 years. And then I've just kind of petered off on that now. I still post videos, but I usually use the Facebook Reels. Are a lot more fun than YouTube these days. And then so I wrote a book this last year. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. So The Unseen Audience. I've got here's one of the right here.
Right. If you want to get the book, guys, link is in the description below. If you guys happen to be over onto the vertical feed, there should be the link in the horizontal. If not, go look into the channel and you'll find the horizontal feed. Very, very busy. So it's been a very strange time for us in the forest people, the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch community. One of the icons, somebody that I get to actually talk to, passed, and we were kind of discussing Tom Cantrell's passing, and I just want to kind of, him better than I did, of course. Could you tell everybody a little bit about him, who he was, and what he did for the community? Hi, Bruce. Hi, Audacious. Amber. Hi, guys. Sorry, guys. Could you tell us a little bit about him, what it was, what he was like, and what he meant to the community?
Well, Tom was an icon. He was as big in real life as he was in all the interviews that you see and the stories that he tells. He was a great spirit. He was my friend and mentor since about 2013. We used to do a lot of road trips together, a lot of camp outs, and When Tom couldn't go camping anymore, we'd still get him out to, sit by the fire for an afternoon. And when we couldn't get him to do that, when he was no longer strong enough to go out to the woods, well, we still made sure he was always included. If we had any questions about what was going on in camp, we could always give him a phone call. And one time in particular, we were over in the Blue Mountains, and we'd been at two locations, where the second location, there was only a few of us left. And the first location had been just one thing after another with activity. The second location was the exact opposite. There really wasn't anything going on. But one afternoon, there was 5 ladies that were there. And one afternoon, one of us that was sitting there saw this big bear across the road. And it was a black bear, but it was like a golden brown black bear. And it was huge. And it just kind of made 3 leaps down through the wildflowers onto the road. And it disappeared behind the bushes on our side. And we don't know where he went. So, we went out onto the road looking for his tracks in the dust to see how big he was. And he didn't have any tracks. So we tried to find his track way down through the wildflowers. We couldn't even find a single broken stem. So we sent Tom a message and asked him what the heck is going on with this bear. And he came back. He told us that he had talked to his Sasquatch teacher, and the message was that, behold the watchman. The Sasquatch in the area were off hunting elk, and they had sent this bear to watch after us. So Tom was always good for having a connection like that when you needed to know something. So, he's going to be sorely missed. But, he wrote a lot of books and he did a lot of interviews. There's, you can go onto his website. You can look him up on Amazon, and you can order all of his books are still available, and they will continue to be available. And he was a great guy, a good friend, and he's going to be.
Just a little bit I knew about him, so I was able to. I think it was another Barbara. There's Barbara Shupe, and there's also Barbara Hartman. Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think she probably got me connected with you too. You need to talk to her. I can't remember. She was like, "Oh yeah, you need to talk to Tom Cantrell." And I was like, "Who's that?" And she was like, "Hey, he's friends with Bob Gimlin." I was like, "I know that name." That one I know. It's one of the most famous names in all of this.
Yeah, they were good buddies.
Yeah, and I got to talk to him, and I just found him to be the most kindest, gentlest, sweetest person. We were supposed to go on again, but his health was bad, and so I didn't want to bother him. So I didn't bother him again. I was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Sure." And then he contacted me like a week or two, like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling so well." I was like, "Okay, man, it's no big deal. It's fine. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay, Tom." So it was great. If you guys want to go back on this actual on the channel, there's I think it's called like I Witnessed the Birth of Twins. And he talked about his connection with the leaders of the clans and how they meet up and actually talk to one another and develop, and it was just, you subbed. Thank you. Were you unsubbed, Audacious Dammer? Were you unsubbed? Oh yeah, Justin. Hey buddy, I'm on the gum, dude. I'm on the gum. I won't be smoking today. I know he says, "Oh, you're smoking, so I'll smoke." So today you're gonna have to go on the gum with me, man. I need your help. That's funny, but it's not really good for the podcast, brother. If you want to, go over to my other show called the Cat Scan. That would be something we would talk about over there. Oh, you subbed the Native Tracker. That's awesome. Okay, contact me too. I need you to come back on the show. All right, Barbara, I actually pulled up your channel so people can see it here. I'm still not as good as I am on this one as I am over on my share screen. It's different on where I do my teaching. I'm a tutor. So where I toot is different than here. So me learning how to do it is, whew. Anyway, so this is Barber Channel guy. It's simply just, here it is right here. Wait a minute. Barber Shupe, is this the right one?
That looks like it. Looks like my stuff. Yeah.
How am I not subscribed? All right, whatever. Maybe I subscribed on my phone. Must I swear, 14,000 subs, quite the big one. Barb and Goldie, and I wanted to go into this video here.
Oh, that's
Now,
one of my favorites.
it is. I didn't know about it. If you remember, well, let me turn the volume off on this. Where are you at? Boom. I guess I have to get the. Here it is. Yeah, it's cool. That didn't good that it didn't work the way I didn't want it to. So when you were okay, Tom, we'll send you. Yes, send me an email. Please do me the favor. You got your phone working? We'll do it that way. Mwah, I miss you. Yeah, you were on the show and you said, Tom, what about the video with the eyes blinking? Oh, what are you talking about? It's on there here. I'll send you the link. You can put it on the end of the interview. And I was like, okay. And yeah, I wish I'd have known about it beforehand, but now that I do, I want to actually get into it a little bit more because it was so cool that you started by saying, hey, I'm here, guys.
Well, I'm recording.
Yeah, I'm here, guys. I'm recording. Nice little. Let's say so. The Cloaker 2.0 camera video.
On March 12th,
Well, that's because it happened
2024,
literally
moments
feet from where the cloaker was.
Really, from the cloaker that you're seeing cross the path.
Yeah, you know the cloaker video that was filmed back in 2014.
Oh, that
This
video.
is literally like 100 feet from where that happened.
Okay, so it's really close by. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's see. Let's get. You have this really cool little. You're talking, and I got you right here in the live in the flesh, and I'm gonna listen to it. Here it is. All right. Okay, so where should I pick it up at? Right here-ish? Yeah,
Sure.
Here-ish. Okay.
I'm recording.
There it is. Yeah. It's over here on this side, guys. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm recording.
Right there.
It'll
Yes.
play
right
a couple
there.
times till it's easy to see.
I'm recording.
Mm-hmm.
Seconds into that video, the Cloaker 2.0 flashed his eyes in my direction. I was filming at 60 frames per second, and the eyes appear in just 5 frames. In low light, my camera records darker than it actually is.
Incredible.
Pretty cool, huh?
It is absolutely insane. So let me get. I don't know why it takes me on different screens, but so you're just filming, and how did you even see that? Because when I first saw it, right, I was so happy that you slowed it down for me and probably many other people. I'm just like, what are we looking at here? And then I'm recording. I'm like, okay, what are we recording?
Well, what happened was I'd had acupuncture earlier that day, and the acupuncturist had told me about how when she gets home from work, she spends 15 minutes meditating, and then she's been going out and having experiences. So, I'm supposed to relax for the rest of the day after acupuncture. So, okay, well, I came back to the cabin and I meditated. I went to use the same program that she had and did that for half an hour or 15 minutes. And then I needed something to work on. I needed a project. And I was thinking about this experience I'd had years ago, but I didn't have any kind of footage or anything. And I thought, well, I could just walk up the trail a little ways and just take a couple of minutes of footage and a couple of pictures, and then I could just do a voiceover video and tell this story, and that'll give me something to work on.
Right.
So I walked up there to this place we call the Field of Dreams, ever since the Cloaker event happened there.
If you build it.
Yeah, I know.
Wait a minute, Kevin Costner is out at your house.
If you film it, if you film it, they will come. So I got up there, I took my photographs, and I turned around, and I was just going to record the walk back to the cabin. And I turned the camera on, and I make a habit of always letting them know when I'm recording. So I said, I'm recording, and I didn't see it happen, but maybe subconsciously I did, because I knew that something had happened. I just didn't know what it was.
Wow.
And I kept the camera rolling for probably the next 2 or 3 minutes, headed back toward the cabin. And when I got back here, I just knew, something had happened. I don't know why I knew or how I knew, but I knew something happened. So I went over the footage from that walk and I looked at every bit of it and I couldn't see anything. And it's like, well, it wasn't leaving me alone. I knew that there was something in there. So I went back and I looked at it at, a little slower. And sure enough, I caught the eyes on the second trip through. And what's even cooler about it is that later on, when I started working on it even more, and I did the uh, where I recreated it as best I could. I put a lantern in the trees and measured it all out to, because
Okay.
beyond that little forked tree, I mean, it was perfect to be that it looked through the forked tree, because it gave me like a sight for the recreation. And on the other side of that forked tree is like 60 feet of open air. There's nothing in there. There's no cover. And then there's a little clump of bushes, little trees at the far end. So that would be about 65 feet from that little bush. Well, we measured it out. I put my friends out in the road and everything. And so those eyes aren't nearly as small as they look. They're probably a juvenile, I'd say, about the same size as Goldie's for comparison when I moved it out and put them side by side. But the one thing that you can see in those 5 frames, the first frame, you look closely, you can see his eyes behind the glow.
Yeah.
And in the third frame, you can see the shape of his cloaked head becomes visible with the eyes in the middle. And then in the very last frame, just as he's turning his head away, you can actually you can see his pupil and brow. You can literally look right into his eyes.
It's wild. And it's like, you don't see it, but you can, so it proves this, I would say, I mean, it's, when it comes to these scientists, I don't know what that's all about, because now, the UFO thing is out there. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna put our finger on that now. And we were like, yeah, we were talking about since the 80s, bro. We know the aliens exist. Let's get to the Bigfoot stuff.
Yes.
The first thing I knew the aliens existed, I just had to use, common sense. We're a planet going around a small star on one of the outer rings of one of billions upon billions of freaking, galaxies in the solar system, or in not solar system, in the universe that we know of. Oh yeah. There's aliens. Okay, good. Now, what about this shit? There's these large bipedal. They look like us, but they don't. When you look in their eyes, you have a different. You can't want to fire upon them. I know I wouldn't, because you have that look, and you're just like, what is that? Something's looking. I was talking to Randy. What the hell is his name? He's from northern Minnesota, and he gets some mind speak, and they told him what they're not. He's like, yeah, we're interdimensional, and yes, we come in and out of portals. We are the woo, and we are also real.
Yeah, they're a little of both. They got a foot in both worlds.
And what can you tell Randy Bauer? Oh, Pam, thank you so much, Pam. Randy Bauer, he was probably the last one I had on before the 3-week hiatus. He had on I just had on the freaking Monster Quest guy, Doug Highcheck. That was pretty, other than my microphone not working. I had to check today to make sure it was on, and it wasn't. It's been fun. It's been a fun battle. But then did I get to talk to someone like you, because I don't know you, of course, but we spent an hour with each other. We had a good rapport. I know I can make off-colored jokes. I'm not bleeding here. What, anybody want pizza? What the hell is that? It's a pepperoni. It was fun and easy. And then, like, I looked on my schedule and I seen that you were coming up, and you were I wrote you 2 days ago, or yesterday, I think it was. Hey, yesterday. Tomorrow. Yeah. I just wanted a friendly reminder. You're like, no problem. Oh, and then you write me today, Tom, you wrote the wrong time. It's not 2:45 for me. It's 3. And I had to literally put up 4 fingers and go, East Coast is 6:45. I'm at 5:45. And it's 3:45. You're like, yes, that's it. I was like, okay, I'll see you then, hoping like you won't say I won't be able to make it because I got the time wrong. Right? And you were like, no. So what can you tell us about them that you haven't already said? What has been, I mean, you've been doing this for a moment, since I think you said the 90s. What is has something changed? Have they opened up more to you? Have they shown you something that's just been
Well, these last few years, it seems like it's just one thing after another. I think that we've reached the point where they trust me to just honestly forward what they show me. It's like I go off on these camping trips and, I get a giant fingerprint, with the witnesses right there to back me up of how it happened.
Mhm.
And, or, the hand where when we were in the Eastern Washington doing a recreation, and while we're recreating a little Sasquatch jumping out of a tree, another little Sasquatch jumps out of a tree, or the eyes or the fairies or any of these things. It's like they do these things on purpose because they know that we're going to forward this information in an honest and respectful way. There's not going to be a bunch of hype, and there's not going to be any elaborations.
So
And
yeah, so you're saying they're playful. Is that what you're basically telling me? They're very playful.
yeah, well, they're playful, and I think they really want the world to know that they are there. They they want the planet to have some respect, the forest to be treated right. People going out and just shooting things up and polluting and cutting it down is, that's their home. They're not quite ready to come out and, sit down next to us at the campfire, but, I think they do want the world to know that there's more going on out here than what we all were raised to believe. And maybe have a little curiosity and respect when you go into the forest and see what happens.
Yeah. There's a consciousness that is there's a consciousness of awareness that is waking up. Because I got to be honest with you, okay, this might get me demonetized for this freaking. I don't care, but I honestly don't care anymore. Just go follow me over on the MP3 side. I'm doing better over there anyway. But like this whole carbon credit thing is driving me up a wall, because where's the carbon credits go? It goes to somebody's bank account, and then the Europeans are like, "Look how well we do," and then they sell that carbon credit to like India or China. So it's all just it's all a ruse, It's like so there's that, and then if there's also more CO2 in the atmosphere, that means the plants love it.
Yeah.
I mean, should we be doing that? No. But should we be afraid always, constantly, to make you feel like there's something wrong with the mere fact that you exist? Like you're here and you're polluting the planet. You're a bad person. That's what the basic game is to make you feel uncomfortable with your own existence. And once you open
I
your
think
heart,
it's maybe more of a get back to nature thing. Remember where you come from. We've only got so much space on this planet, and so many trees, and so much land, and so much clean water. And
got someone who's read your book.
oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. So thank you so much, Michigan Sandman. He writes, "How'd I miss this? Hi, Barb. Great book you wrote."
Oh, awesome. Thank you. So glad you liked it.
Yeah, there's only so much. I agree. But there's also instead of the fear, I think there should be some type of other way of going about it. And I do think there's a connection. Thank you. Respect. Mutual respect for everything and everyone. Love for everything and everyone. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That goes a long way.
Did we miss
Throw
something?
some gratitude in.
Yeah.
Some mindfulness.
A little bit of how do you do? A little bit of let's work together.
That's right.
A little bit, how do you put your pants on the same way I do? Hey.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Me and you can hang out. We got to go bowling, Barbara. That's what we're going to do. We're going bowling.
Okay.
I've never been to Washington State, but you can come down here to Mexico anytime you like.
Okay.
I just had one of my students actually come from Poland. That was weird. And she was like, "Oh, I'm coming over in Mexico in February." And I'm like, "Okay." And I said, what part you going to be? "Oh, I'll get my itinerary." I was like, "You're going to be in my town."
Oh, wow.
On a Saturday. So I went, and she only had like an hour. So we like sat real quick with her boyfriend and my girlfriend. We just had like coffee and like carrot cake, and they bounced. But yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've been trying to get some of you Bigfoot people down here to walk you into my woods here and see if you see anything. Because down here we have jaguars and snakes and stuff.
Yeah. I kind of like being at the top of the food chain.
There's been dogman sightings around here, though. They
Yeah.
are started to happen. Yeah, actually, there was a Facebook post that got sent to me by somebody who said, "I saw something. I don't know what it was. I was on my motorcycle. This is what I saw, and it was a rendition. This is kind of what I saw, which was an AI picture." And then I said, "Look, it's happening here." And the first thing someone says, "Hey, that's an AI picture." I know that because it's in Spanish, but yeah. So that's been happening down here too. So that's a new development within the last, I don't know, about
Wow.
6 months. 6 months that's starting to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello. Hey, Pam. Hi. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Oh yeah, here we go. We're gonna get your book out there so people can. The link's in the description below, guys. You want to go over and get Barbara's book? Please do me a favor. Go over now, and it would be really helpful because she's got a lot of good insights as to what we're seeing. Now, someone mentioned to me, actually, it was Pam. She mentioned the fairy video, which I actually haven't looked into yet. I kind of glanced at it real quick.
Yeah,
which
that
you-
was really something. Another one of those things that I wasn't expecting and I didn't know happened until later.
okay.
Yeah, that was
So
fairies weren't
which
my
one is
thing,
it?
but when they fly at the camera, it's
Which one is it? Is
also-
it
I
this
think
one?
it's that one right there.
Fairies on Bigfoot Mountain. All
That's the one.
All right, let's take a look at that too. These are some of the evidence that Barbara has collected. Okay, they're gonna
Imagine.
No, I'm not going to imagine. I'm not going to imagine a damn thing. Just go ahead and get on through. Get on through there. I don't have money to pay for that, but one of these days I will. Are we done? Can I skip it now? All right, bye. Okay, cool. All right. Where should I be looking in the video?
From my notes, November 15th, 2023. Today we went for a walk up the mountain.
You're going to want to
We had
go
re-
Yeah.
forward a little bit.
Okay.
I'm walking the wrong
About a minute or
direction
two,
there.
or
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how far into this. Actually, this might not be the right
Okay.
video. This might be a follow-up one.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. Let me go back and look for it then. All right.
Yeah,
It
that
says-
one.
Maybe
What's
the
that
short here? Fairies
Say
caught on
fair-
camera,
Yes,
this one?
do that one. That one there. That's a good one.
It's only a minute long. Okay, it's a
Yeah,
short.
that'll show you. That'll go cut right to the meat of it there.
Okay. Wow, that right there.
Yeah.
How do I zoom? How do I make that large? That's as large as I can make it.
So it started out as a bright white like orb, and then it morphed into the shapes first like a baby and then like a Tinkerbell. And then the
Uh-huh.
second one, it was down the road probably 130 feet where it first became visible, and it passed me in less than half a second. So that came out to a minimum of 167 miles per hour that it was moving when it went past me. And
Wow.
this was another one of those things where I knew something was happening, but I didn't know what. So I just turned the camera on. And before I started walking down, when the bright one flew at me, I had turned the camera on, and I didn't know why. I just felt like that I had to turn the camera on, and there was a little waterfall coming down one side of the road and then out underneath on the other side. So I turned it on and I aimed it at the waterfall. But when I first turned it on, my glove was covering the screen. So I just turned the camera on, turned it off, repositioned it in my hand, turned it back on, made my little clip, turned around, took another little clip, and then started walking down the road. And that's when they flew at me. So then all I really wanted to do, what I was thinking is, I feel like I have to have the camera on. I don't know why, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to aim it as I'm walking so that it's framing Goldie with the trees in the background, and I can have a pretty screenshot. So when I
Right.
got back to the cabin, I went through the video. Found a nice screenshot, posted it, and a friend said, "Oh, it looks like a Sasquatch down in the trees in the background reading a newspaper." And I'm thinking, okay, well, I know that's not really probably happening, but before I delete this video, I'm going to go ahead and take a closer look at the background. So I went to that spot and I zoomed in, and as I'm doing it, something shot across the screen. Well, so then I backed out, and that's when I saw the first one, the one that was really bright. And then
Mhm.
after that, then I looked even closer. I saw the second one, the one that was moving so fast came right toward me. Well, then I thought about those first clips that I had made. Well, I checked both of the ones of the waterfall. There was nothing, but in that like 2-second clip, when my glove was on and the camera was just aimed at the ground, two of them shot past, and I had to slow it down to like 1/16th speed to be able to get a look at the streak of them going by. They were so fast.
Right.
And then a few days later, a friend came and we went back up there. And then that day, I actually got to see him with my own eyes. The two of the fast ones. It seems like there's one that's really bright that changes her shape, the Tinkerbell type one. And she kind of meanders around and she's fast, but she's not as fast as the other ones. The other ones are just like these gray balls that are just so fast that they're just there and gone. You don't even notice them coming, and because they're just, if you're looking in the right place, you see them as they go by. They make a hummingbird seem slow. And
Oh, oh,
yeah.
wir haben irgendjemand hier aus dem Holland. Entschuldigung, ich rede kein Holländisch, aber ich kann auf Deutsch willkommen, und Sie können auch bei uns ein Member sein. So I spoke German to somebody from Holland, but it's kind of
Okay.
close, and they might understand it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Oh, hi. These are a lot of new people. Interesting. So the question I wanted to ask you is like, so that's twice you told me that you knew something was happening, but you didn't know.
Uh-huh.
Where does that come from? Where does this intuition? What did this something that's been developing through the years?
I think that there's a mental connection that happens. You spend enough time around them and they get into your head. There
Hi,
was
Robert.
a medicine woman a couple of years ago told me that they watch through my eyes, and that when they connect to people, that they can be in your head and they will not only watch through your eyes, but wildlife and uh, birds and anything they want to. And she said that that it can work both ways. That if you want to know where they're at, just try to picture yourself in your mind, in your mind's eye. Picture yourself, and when you can see a clear view of yourself, look at where that view is from, and that's where they are watching you from. So that's
Wow, that sounds like remote viewing.
yeah, it is. So I think, and I don't hear a lot. I don't think of myself as like a medium or anything like that. But when they want you to know something, they are capable of speaking and letting you hear it, and or just giving you an impression, a feeling, a vision, a picture, things like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
usually pretty subtle, but I'd say when you feel it, go with it, because it seems to work out pretty well.
Well, this lady here, Northwest Native Tracker, is a Native American from Oregon. I've had her on before, and I called the episode "The Last of Her Kind." She is the last medicine woman from her tribe, and she's decided one of the other ones also had on Mama Bear Claw, who is also incredible.
Wow.
And they both kind of connect up and talk to me in different ways to give me some type of understanding through those eyes, which I really, really, really appreciate. And she said everything that you are now saying is correct. She was like, yeah, from my family, yes. And she talked about her walkabout, I guess you would call it. And that's also incredible episode, guys. If you get a chance to go back and listen to that one, there's no video from her half, but the audio is when one peered out and offered their help, like, "Can I help you?" Like, it scared the bejesus out of me. I got to be honest with you. It's just,
Oh, wow.
the more I learn, the more questions I have, and I think people like yourself, Tom, many, many others. I just feel like it's just so strange that you guys will want to talk to me, and it's cool at the same time. It's just I don't know. People go, "Oh, you're the Bigfoot guy." I'm like, no, I'm not. It's called the Eye of Jupiter. It's not called the Eye of Bigfoot. It's just I like everything. So so you guys out there listening, some of the next episodes are going to be, I got some ancient history coming up, and I also have a man. He's Mr. Robert Chinchilla. He's on here. He's also a member. You guys can become a member too and get episodes early wherever he is. He was just on here, Robert Chinchilla. Anyway, he's coming on. He's coming on. I think it's next week. And we went through his life story of a guardian angel and many, many other things, strange occurrences, really wild stuff. Now, we're going to get back to the reason that I initially contacted you, other than maybe Barbara Hartman telling me, was the the video of where the Bigfoot is cloaking, right? You've seen that video, right? I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And Barbara Shupe, I can get her in contact with you. You can just go talk to her, and she'll probably be on your show. And so I went and looked at this video, and it is okay. So for me, it goes, my opinion. This is my opinion. There's other ones too, but Patterson Gimlin. Then it goes to the fence climber, which is MK Davis, the fence climber, and then there's this one. Wow. Those are my favorite three, where I'm go, look at the flex of the muscle, look at the step over the fence, and this one is like, what the hell is that? So welcome. Thank you for giving me the what the hell is that.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And the eyes video is attached to it because it's 100 feet away from where that happened. So
right. So this is the breakdown. That's someone else breaking it down. Bigfoot Tony. What a great name. Broke down your video. So I'm going to show the people. Oh, we're going to get that. We're going to get another It's trying to sell me some shampoo, even though I'm bald or something. Let's see. Yes. All right, let's get through. Oh, this is Mercado Libre. It's basically like Amazon for Mexico. That's what it's called. It's called free market.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to get through it. Oh, if you guys want your day one reward of fighting some level with the slime lady. All right. Moving. All right. Sasquatch McGabby. All right. So we're going to see exactly where it is. I know I went through with you this before on the regular one, but live has a different feel. So could you set this up for me, Barbara? What was going on this day, and tell people kind of walk us into what was happening?
We had a group of people came to camp with us, and on the first day I took everybody on a little tour up the trail behind my cabin here, and I was just going to show them some structures, some broken trees and some things that were interesting. And my dad and his wife and another lady had stayed on the main trail just a little farther ahead, and they were just sitting on some logs waiting for us. And then the rest of us, I think there was 5 or 6 of us, went off the main trail, maybe just 100 feet or so, to look at a tree that it was interesting because it was a broken section of tree, and both ends of it were suspended off the ground. They were hung up on things, and something had hit it hard enough to break it in the middle without knocking either one of those ends down to the ground. So we were just kind of looking at that and trying to figure out what was going on. And Claudia Ackley, she's standing in front of me, and I noticed she kept kind of looking off to the side. So every time she'd look over there, I was looking to see what she was looking at, and I wasn't seeing anything. But fortunately, I had my camera was on. It was attached to my walking stick, so I wasn't like intentionally recording anything. It was just on in case, something happened to pick up audio or something. I didn't really expect I'd pick up anything visual with it, but it happened to be on and recording, aimed in the right direction when it happened. And then Claudia, she kept looking over there, and she looked back, and then I saw this little black-headed, like dome-headed triangular shape just popped up on the other side of this log, and it took off running. And so I thought that's what had happened, But then when we got back to camp later and I looked at the film, and there was a lot more in the film than what I had seen.
That's saying the absolute least as possible. What a great way to set that up. I saw a little something, Tom. It was like a smudge in the corner. All right, guys. For those who haven't seen this, go ahead and get your popcorn and grab your hats and whistle at the neighbor or what other cool wordings you want to say. But it's right around here, and you're going to see something, and I will direct your attention to it. Pretty cool. Okay, so right here is let's get to it.
Yeah, so something had to have hit it really hard.
So right in this area, are you seeing the mouse, Barbara?
It's really small on my screen. Oh yeah, I can see it.
Okay,
So
so
right around the
look
tip of that
right
branch.
around right around the tip of this little branch here. Go ahead and keep your eyes on that, guys. And I think it'll be slowed down also in this video. But
There should be like a
just
little burst
hard
of
and
light
really
just before it happens.
okay, I think I must have missed that.
fast right in the middle to break it there, to not break these smaller
Yeah.
pieces that are supporting it at either
Yeah,
end.
that had to
Look
been,
here, there it is.
you know,
Yeah.
like a thrust and not a hang. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? 'Cause if
something
if they'd
hard
have
and
hung on it
fast.
for any amount of time,
The heck was
top
that?
probably
Did you
came
see that?
Sam's been checking.
Wow,
You know,
that you
Yeah.
seen it right away was
like a
incredible.
thrust and not a hang. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? 'Cause if they-
something
if they'd
hard
have
and
hung on it
fast.
for any amount of time,
The
that
heck was
top
that?
probably
Did you
came
see
down.
that?
And Sam's been,
I'm
you
looking
know,
for this burst of light
Yeah.
here.
like a thrust
Oh,
and
it's
not a
like
hang.
right
you know
on
what
the
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
tip
'Cause
of
if
that
they'd
Something
little
hard and
hung on
branch.
it for any
Yeah.
amount of
There's
time,
just
The
that
heck
like a
was
top
that?
little bit
Did you
of
see-
light there.
It's I will let it play out a little bit without the volume going now. So you can see right here, guys, that it's on the tip of this. Uh-huh. Yeah, I see what it looks like. Yeah, I got you. It's like right here. It's between this vine. What are we looking at now? I guess that's later in the
Oh,
video.
it went
Yeah.
that way. So, but Sam kind of stepped in front of the camera, so it just dived into a
Mhm.
hole over there.
Yeah, there's an actual channel on there. Pamela, Tom, Daniel, your legends in the podcast world. Thank you, Bruce. Good Lord. I love you too, buddy. Legend. All right, sure. I'll take no, not yet anyway. I appreciate it. Yeah, but dude. So there's another channel that grabbed that video, right, and really slowed it down and really zoomed it in and really took it apart. And it's one of those videos, once again, that gives you way more questions than it gives you any type of answers. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, what
Oh,
did
yeah.
what did you glean from that? What did you glean from that? You like, oh, I've seen this before, and now I caught it on video, or is this
It was-
before the time you saw it?
Well, I had seen things like that before. The one that was following the elk had like vanished behind an invisible curtain, and I'd seen, trees being shaken by something that wasn't there, and I'd seen vegetation being mowed over by something that wasn't there. But I had always rationalized it, and this was at this point, I could no longer deny the stranger side of Sasquatch. I'd gone into it thinking it was just another form of wildlife. And, I thought if I thought about it hard enough, I could figure out how these things were happening. It was, I could rationalize the woo away is what I thought. And then after the Cloaker video, I could no longer deny these things. And it wasn't long after that I went off to my first trip to the Blue Mountains, and it was cemented in me there. So,
Okay, tell me about that. Tell me about the Blue Mountains.
well, that was my first visit over to Tom Cantrell's area over there. In 2015, I was a member of the Bigfoot community group, and I was one of the admins, and we were having a group camp out over there. But at the same time, Tom was also having his camp out at Deduck Springs, where the Freeman footage happened. Well, the road into Deduck Springs was too messed up, and he couldn't have his camp there. So we combined the two of them at another location. And it was just one thing right after another. I got to watch glowing eyes turn on right there in the yard, like just a few feet behind my friends. That happened 2 nights in a row. I got to hear whoops and knocks, and I got a little gentle sizzle. It was kind of a little bit of infrasound, but it wasn't harsh or anything. Got to see a Sasquatch rocking back and forth in the moonlight, but the
That sounds oddly romantic.
well, I was sitting there all by myself in the dark, and it was one of those experiences where it was one of my first big things where I was all by myself and had to handle it on my own. And I was trying to record, but my camera had died, and I kept looking over there, and he's rocking back and forth, and I'm just kind of trying to think of something to say. And it's like, well, it's rude to stare, so I'm not going to stare over there. But every time I look, yep, you're still there.
Do you know why they do that? I've heard this many times before, that they do this little thing And I've
Yeah.
seen videos where they do that. Do you have any insight into that, or it's just
I
something they
don't
do?
know. Just
It's
something they do.
like a nervous tick. It's
Yeah.
like it's like it's like a kid sitting on the bench getting ready to go in for the basketball game, you know, like when am I gonna get in there? And the coach like, all right, get in
Ready
there,
to
you know?
go?
Yeah. It's all stretched out, ready to go.
Yeah.
Dude, would you imagine I have one of those on your team, 7 foot tall, 8 foot tall, dude? Dude, I would
Oh, and they're
definitely.
so fast, man. They could be
Oh, they
making
would
goals
dunk
and
on
you wouldn't even
everybody.
know it.
Just, dude, then we can put the ladies in the sports. If the female Sasquatch says I'm playing on the NBA, you better put her in there.
That's right. Tell you what, that ball just appear where it needs to go, and nobody will ever know how it got there.
Oh yeah, they can freaking teleport from one part of the court to the other one, and just be like, "This is not fair."
I think that would be a fun game. I would watch that game.
In the very least, it'd be a very good video game. You know, Sasquatch basketball or something. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Man. He's
Yeah.
heating up.
Where's the cloaker?
That would be the name of our team, and the logo is just a blank sheet of nothing.
Yeah, the eyes. You got to blank with the eyes.
Yeah. It's like one of those. Remember those old plastic cards that you get that you have to turn, and you could see things from one angle and then not the other.
Yeah.
We got the market. Look at this. Me and you are starting a business already. We got the marketing ready.
Oh yeah.
So with, not to be too negative, but there seems to be in a lot of these people this red carpet affair. I call it red carpeters. You know what I'm talking about? Where there's people. I believe there's people who are genuine like yourself and many others, but there's other ones who want to use their experiences to somehow make money and be famous.
Oh yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with writing a book because of your experiences, and people like it. Great. If you make a buck, fine. But there's a lot of these people who are it's their whole MO, and I don't know how to deal with that quite really, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know what you think about that, but there's something that I don't think people talk about because they're worried of the backlash. But there's certain people, no names to be mentioned, that do it, I think, for the wrong reasons.
Well, it just goes back to the whole respect thing, you know? I mean, if you're sharing your stuff respectfully, you know, you want to help other people understand their own experiences, and you want to share the information for the right reasons, you know, that's great. You know, if your name is out there and your face is out there, you're selling books or making movies or whatever your calling is, whatever your path leads you down, and if you're doing it in a respectful and honorable way, that's great.
Yes. Yeah. But there's also the ones with the, hey, look at this person. Yeah. And that's where I have you find that anywheres, because whether you want to admit to it or not, people are interested in it because it is a form of entertainment.
That's the thing. You got to be discerning about that. You know, are these people, is their focus their own ego themselves, or is their focus on the information that they're sharing?
You have to,
you know, and even then you have to pay attention to that information, because that can be, you know, twisted around and you know, filtered through their own personal egos and beliefs. And, you know, people are going to share things from their point of view, you know, from their perspective, how they've experienced it, you know, and you can pretty much tell when somebody's, you know, being honest with that, and when it's something that connects with you, when it's something that you hear and, you know, you go, oh, hey, I know what he's talking about there. That reaches me, that touches me. I can understand this. Then there's other people that it's just noise. You just want to make them go away.
Yeah, but it's not always so easy for everyone to discern. You know, there's certain people who have a certain ability to do so, but who are you to also be the filter for that? You know, like this person, you got to watch this person, or this person isn't in it for the right reason. That's a hard thing to do. I just wanted to kind of get your take on it, and that's exactly how I feel. It's a bit of self-discernment, and you can tell when someone's kind of, you know, being a bit egotistical, I guess it's the best way to say it. Just trying to, good Lord, someone's really fast here. You guys are rocking and rolling over here. Here's Barbara's Facebook. Go, and then put that a little longer. Just Barbara Shupe, type that in on Facebook and you will find her pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Here is Barbara's book, The Unseen Audience Walking with Sasquatch. You can find that over on Amazon. It is always a pleasure. Yeah, we're just there's certain people who also do like a Howard Stern type thing where they kind of go, they crap on other ones so that they build themselves up. There's those kind of
Oh,
people.
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, you see
No,
it all. I've seen it all,
I
man.
know.
In the
That
comedy,
just makes
okay,
me sad. It really
I can only
does.
tell you through the mediums of artistic things that I've done. So as a musician, there's always that band who thinks they're better than everybody, right? And then there's the ones who are cool that you hang out with, you have a beer, maybe you smoke a joint with them before you hit the stage. These are great guys, great girls. We have a fucking blast. Hey, can I use your amp? Sure, you can use my amp. But then there's the ones that are like, and it's like, all right. Comedians are the same way. There's a lot of them who they do comedy just to get to television, and I always wanted to do it for the art of the comedy. So like the real essence of it. And that's what I try to help the ones that I see who have that essence, like yourself, Tom, Barbara, who's coming on? I can't think of his name again. Randy Bauer. One of these type people, one of these gentlemen. They have the real, like, look, man, I don't know what the hell this is. This is what I'm seeing, and this is what I want to present to you, right?
Mhm.
But then there's people who pow, boom, boom, lasers and all. It's just
Yeah.
or all the AI stuff that's coming out now. People are really afraid of that, and I'm not, because I think people are going to want that real. In the end, Tom, tell a joke. No, Robert. Randy Bauer, yes, Randy Bauer's coming. People are going to want that authentic. You know what I mean? People nowadays can say 5 words, tell what kind of music they want, and it makes a whole song from them. But I like imperfections. That's why music from the 60s and the 70s are always going to be like the favorite of most people, because of the imperfections. The
Mhm.
like the fret buzz, or the time where you hear, the drummer kind of hit the side of the snare at the same time, but they kept it in the recording. And I think people are going to want that. So what is your take on all this AI that's coming out, Barbara?
Well, on one hand, it's a little bit disturbing seeing how it's used to imitate real life without and without really having any sign that's telling you this isn't real life. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, I think it could be a really useful tool too. So it's something that's got to be used responsibly, I think. As far as using it with art, I think it's a great tool for art, but then again, you got to make sure that you're not taking advantage of other people that actually put a lot of time and effort into creating the art that it's being taken from.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But that's
it's
going to be so hard.
yeah.
Like, what I think eventually is going to happen is I've already kind of said this over. I called myself Nostradamus. where where like they'll be able to make these fake videos so well, whether it be like a government leader, and then they're going to say, you know what, okay, you're going to have to sign into the internet with an ID of sorts.
Yeah.
That way they can track it back to whoever did it and then go ahead and charge you. But then we're down another really slippery path.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
know what that is. But on the positive side, um, it does help on many things. Like when I'm trying to present an idea like when you tell me a story, like for example, you tell me a story or someone else tells me a story, I'm interpreting what you said through the way you told me. And AI can help me do that. You know what I mean? Instead of me actually painting a picture, which I could do, but that would take me a couple hours and
Yeah.
it might turn out bad. So there's that
When you
possibility.
need an
Yeah.
image to help, I think sometimes I think that the Sasquatch and, whoever else is halfway through the veil beside them, I think they are well aware of our media, our music, our video games, and all of those things. However, they tap into it, by the way, they're just, like watching through my eyes right now, whether they're looking through our windows, whether they have their own ways of tapping into it, I don't know, but they're aware. And I think that part of the reason that I've been given like the fairy footage and the eyes and things like that at this point in time when they did was because it was pre AI. You know, nobody's ever going to be able to go into that footage and say, I'm not sure, you
Right.
know, whereas a few years down the road from when it happened, that's nobody could ever really say for sure. But
It's very difficult to authenticate. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. There's another part of me that has hope. So if we were able to create this software in which we can't distinguish ourselves looking at it, there would probably be something that can help us distinguish as to whether or not it's real or not. So there'll be like AI detectors or something like that. Maybe
I
like
hope
we can cross our
so.
fingers. Hey, what's up, Tim? Yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. I think the next thing that's going to happen is that, okay, so now the government were like, okay, Jeffrey Epstein, all right, we all kind of knew that. Alex Jones said it 20 years ago and everyone thought he was insane. Right. He also said that Bohemian Grove, the people they burned, yeah, that he went in there and videotaped that was also real. And then everyone was like, oh yeah, aliens are real, and they've been saying that for a very long time. And I hope the next one up is that the forest people, they get recognized as a real thing and that they get protected somehow. I don't know how that would work. I don't think we should not allow people to walk through the forest. I think that's for everybody, but I think it should be like where there's some type of protection where like this habitat can't be touched in this habitat if you want to replant forest because we need paper or whatever the hell we're doing, and we have some type of wildlife management of that nature, because right now being this weird freelance like whatever happens things is, I don't think it's beneficial for anybody. There's been like Daryl Denton, he had a group that he was constantly talking to and in contact with for like 2 years until they cut down the forest in an area, and he doesn't know where they went anymore. They were displaced. So there are real people like us, but different. And they need
yeah,
to have the same respect that we would give people like us, because they have that consciousness. They have
yeah,
that ability to reach out and talk and express their ideas. So there's something important to that. Limestone paper is better than wood pulp paper. All right. We have an industry expert. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I agree with that. Yeah. I hopefully we get there. I don't know how we're going to get there. There's some research going on in NC State right now, where they're collecting evidence to try to make it some type of real scientific thing. But when they don't want you videotaping them, sometimes I think it's great where you're like, I'm going to videotape you. Do they come to your house and hit the window too, or hit the doors and stuff?
oh, they tap on the house sometimes. Yeah, on the walls. Yeah, I hear them outside the window at night playing in the creek and splashing, and sometimes sometimes they get a little closer to the building, and I've got some fingerprints on the one window over here, and they'll tap on the roof and tap on the wall, and uh yeah, it seems like what we had a big uh few days of heavy storm back in December,
Hmm.
and they were having a lot of fun with the high water. I think that was uh flooding conditions to us is fun for them.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you remember when you were a kid when it was raining, there'd be puddles outside, bro? It
Oh
was
yeah.
on. Give me a stick and a puddle, maybe a leaf. I'm good all day long. I'm good all day
Yeah.
long. I don't even get mom to throw the peanut butter and jelly sandwich out the window. We actually, so Michigan Sam Man, the person who's actually read your book, says, Barb, they have a question. We actually have a question. Do you think they live in another dimension?
Oh, I think they live in both. I think they're partly here and partly somewhere else. You know, the somewhere else might be just a slightly different version of here, a
Mm,
slightly faster version of here, because they are extremely fast and they vibrate at a higher rate than we do. So when they come into our vision, our field of view, I think they're just kind of slowing down it to be here. So yeah, I think they live a little bit here and a little bit somewhere else.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating. It's interesting that you think they vibrate faster. I don't think you mean that they do physically move faster, of course, but I think you
Yeah,
mean
but I
something.
think they can
You're,
vibrate.
you're
I think
saying
that's how
something
they
else.
cloak.
That's what. Yes, because it's all because that's what's happening around us anyway. We know that there's gamma rays. We know that there's background radiation. We know that radio waves are passing through us right now. Wi-Fi, all this stuff. And we
Yeah.
know that that's real, even though we don't see it. So why wouldn't? Because it's also like connected to like the paranormal stuff, where you like a ghost will just like appear and then disappear, which I find to be a lot less creepy than when they talk to you. Because I don't want to be talked to by nothing. Could you imagine? Have you ever had that with something calls your name?
I have, yes.
Really?
Yeah. When I was bartending at the Natchez Tavern up here, I was the cook for several years, and then one night it was my very first night bartending by myself, and I had closed the tavern, and I was in the back at the kitchen sink, and it sounded like somebody just snapped a 2x4 right behind my head, and I heard somebody say my name, and I looped through the whole building trying to figure out who was in there, and there was nobody there. I called the lady, it was upstairs, thinking it was her. I woke her up, went right back to the sink to pick up my chores where I left off, and bam, right behind my head again, and my name again. And so I don't know what that was.
And you kept working there?
Yeah. There was a lot of weird things happened there.
Yeah, yes. Bruce has actually had a conversation with a ghost at a cemetery. Bruce Brown is kind of came out recently after he retired. He's a former many type of law enforcement agencies, sheriff's office, narcotics, all kind of things. He retired and he has a lot of Sasquatch, a lot of Dogman, and a whole ton of paranormal. And one time he was telling me a story. He was on a show where he actually had a conversation with a ghost in a cemetery for 45 minutes.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, that's cool.
You have to go back and check out the lives, baby. It's all on there. Yeah. So he's asking, have you ever had a conversation with the ghost?
I don't
No.
think I have. No.
I've talked to them, but I haven't had any like where they go, like, what do you want to, what kind of, how do you want your coffee? Regular, which is, sugar and cream. That's a regular. For guys, you don't know, the older people like me and Barb, that regular is sugar and cream. And I never had that conversation, but I have heard disembodied voices, but I don't know what they were saying.
Yeah.
Right. And someone told me that they probably weren't talking to you, they were talking to each other. And
that happens at our camps a lot, where we hear voices that you can't quite make out what they're saying. A lot of times they sound like kids. We think it's the little Sasquatches, though. I mean, the woods could be haunted too.
Yes, that's where I heard mine, in the forest here. Yeah, and for me, it happened twice. And for me, I don't know what they were saying. It didn't sound like English, German, or Spanish, which are the languages that I know. I don't know what, I guess it's Mayan. Who knows? But it was, I can only tell you, it was like whispery, like very, like this.
Oh, I had that right outside my window here the last couple of weeks. There was 2 nights in a row.
Was it male or female?
I couldn't tell. It was just that.
Yes. For me, it's female. Yes, I heard that same stuff, dude. That shit was spooky, man.
It was. It actually kind of spooked me a little bit, because that's
spooky, man.
Not one of the things that I'm used to hearing out here.
I was like, hey.
Yep.
Did you hear it over a particular side of your body? For me, it was always over my left side behind me.
No, I sleep with my window cracked, because I listen to the crick and whatever's going on outside. Wow. And it was coming from outside. So
have you ever seen a dogman, or do you believe in dogmen?
Yeah. Yeah, they're here. They hang out with the Sasquatches.
What do they do? They got a motorcycle club? What's going on there? You said hang out, so we're going to use your terminology.
I know that during one of my experiences, the one where I saw the vegetation being mowed over by something that wasn't there, one of the people that was with me saw a part of that experience. He saw a little dog man that was on all fours, looked at him and turned and leaped over a log and disappeared. And then I've got a photograph of somebody that was up on the hill above me that dropped down, and when you zoom in on that, he has a very dog-like face. And from what Arla has taught us,
Who's
they
Arla?
Arla
Who's Arla?
Collette Williams. She's another mentor that has taught me a lot over the years. She was Tom's mentor, so
I think Pam told me I need to reach out to her. Pam, did I make a
Yeah.
mistake? Did I make a boo-boo not knowing who that is? I have a list here of so many people I need to contact, but I need 2 bodies to do it all.
Oh,
I need 2 people to do it all. So,
well, according to Arla, the dogmen and the Sasquatch they go hand in hand. That where you're going to find one, you'll find the other.
what's her
And
name?
I
Arla?
don't.
A-R-L-A?
Yeah,
A-R-L-A. What's her last name, please?
Collette Williams.
Call it C-O-L-L. Call it Williams. Okay.
Yeah.
I told you about her, Tom. Yes, but we will forgive you, Tom. Yes. Sorry. Sorry. I'm in the process of not smoking, putting in air conditioning systems, building walls, getting my my girlfriend's house ready to move in a month. So I'm a busy guy.
Oh wow.
Pam, a lot
Okay.
they're busy. No, I'm just joking. I'm just playing around. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even know that you had the dog. I told you about her time. Yes. Interesting, Pam. Wow. Yeah. How are they different than Sasquatch? What do you know that's different about them, or what you've been told?
I don't really know. I think see now I always thought they were just kind of the same thing as a Sasquatch with a different face, but I've seen tracks out here in the woods that were, wolf tracks that were way bigger than a wolf. And from what I'm told, they don't have feet like Sasquatch. They have feet like dogs. So I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm not the person to ask about the dog
No,
man.
sure. No. Yeah, that's not a problem. I just wanted to go ahead and ask. I have you want to ask. So, first of all, thank you one more time, Barbara, for
Oh,
taking
you're
time
welcome.
out of your day. We always have a blast. I always make you laugh, which makes me happy. I enjoy making people laugh. You said I said the hang out. So I was like during the motorcycle gang. I thought it was pretty cool. Arla Colette Williams. Okay, I
Yes.
spelled it differently. C-O. She actually wrote me. Pam hooks me up and tells me the people I should reach. I really appreciate it, Barbara. One more time, guys, go out and get Barbara's book. Links in the description. Go over to her channel, like and subscribe to the channel. She also has a Facebook page. If you want to maybe reach out and ask questions politely, don't expect to get an answer immediately because we are busy people in this world. Just go ahead and reach out to her. She's, as you see, she's very friendly, very approachable, and a very sweet person. Barbara, thank you so much for coming on today and talking with us.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And guys, enjoy your weekend. Remember, we are the eye. We are aware. Love you all. Bye-bye.